Hello everyone. Hope all of you are doing good. Today we were looking forward to the United Opposition having their rally in Kikuyu, but unfortunately, very early those morning hours, there are some goons who are already at the southern bypass, and we have reached as a country, it's like it's turned into a country of police brutality and goonism. And as we saw last week, and some incident of goonism there at Kisumu, which according to the sources, they said they are sponsored by one public officer whose name was even mentioned. It's like it's becoming just a normal habit here in Kenya. Yani goonism imekuwa sasa career, and the police have just decided to do anything that they want. The Constitution of Kenya grants, under the chapter 4, the Bill of Rights, everyone has a right of assembly, right of expression, and peaceful demonstration or something. But the United Opposition were to hold a rally at Kikuyu, but it turned out the way we had not expected. Hawakuhutubia hata kwa ule muda ambao walikuwa wamepanga kuhutubia. It was just a cut and rat game between the opposition. First the goons trying to create an environment of discomfort. Second, the polisi wakikimbiza watu huku na huku, polisi wakiingilia katikati ya mkutano kutupa tear gas. So I think I'll just have to post a video. Hope leo it won't misbehave.
Chama cha DCP mjini Kikuyu, wafuasi wa kinara wa chama hicho Rigathi Gachagua walimiminika kwenye barabara kuu kuelekea mjini Kikuyu, ambapo mkutano wao ulikumbwa na kizaazaa na vitoa machozi, polisi wakiwatawanya wafuasi hao kila mara walipojaribu kukutana. Na polisi pia walifyatua risasi hewani mara kwa mara, huku Gachagua akilazimika kutumia wafuasi wake muda mfupi kwenye barabara ya Southern Bypass. Chama cha DCP na wafuasi wake hawakuweza kufika Kikuyu mjini kama ilivyopangwa. Yakini sababu mimi ni mtoto ya Mau. Nimesema mkutano wao ulikumbwa na kizaazaa walipojaribu
Oh, I think I'll just have to play the audio alone because the video is kind of. Yeah, so I'll just have to play the audio alone so that it is audible so that we can move on with our discussion.
Ya jaribio hilo la wahuni kuzuia mkutano wa chama cha DCP mjini Kikuyu, wafuasi wa kinara wa chama hicho Rigathi Gachagua walimiminika kwenye barabara kuu ya kuelekea mjini Kikuyu, ambapo mkutano wao ulikumbwa na kizaazaa na vitoa machozi, polisi wakiwatawanya wafuasi hao kila mara walipojaribu kukutana. Na polisi pia walifyatua risasi hewani mara kwa mara, huku Gachagua akilazimika kuwahutubia wafuasi wake kwa muda mfupi kwenye barabara ya Southern Bypass. Na kama anavyoarifu Melita Oletenges, Gachagua na wafuasi wake hawakuweza kufika Kikuyu mjini kama ilivyopangwa. Vitoa machozi, hali ya mguu niponye, ndiyo ilikuwa taswira ya mkutano wa chama cha DCP mjini Kikuyu. Kila wafuasi wa chama hicho walipojaribu kukusanyika, maafisa wa polisi walirusha vitoa machozi kuwatawanya. Polisi wametuvamia na risasi, wakatuvamia na tear gas. Lakini kwa sababu mimi ni mtoto wa mama, nimesema lazima niingie Kikuyu. Hata hivyo, aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua alifanikiwa kufanya mkutano na kuhutubia hadhara kwa dakika chache. Alisema nikijia hatafika Kikuyu. Nikijia amefika hatafika. Nikijia amefika hatafika. Mkutano huo ulitanguliwa na ubabe wa kisiasa kati ya mbunge wa Kikuyu Kimani Ichung'wah na kinara wa DCP Rigathi Gachagua kuhusu kupangwa kwa ghasia mjini humo. Tabia zako Kimani Ichung'wah, hatuamini wewe ni Mkikuyu, hatuamini wewe ni Mkikuyu. Umeshikana na hiyo Ruto kuangaisha kabila wa Kikuyu. Gachagua ameisuta serikali kwa kuwavuruga viongozi wa upinzani ambao wana maoni na msimamo kinzani na serikali. Nimetangaza operation Fagia ya kusaidia wasaliti wa jamii yetu. Nikisema harambee mnasema Fagia. Harambee! Wasaliti wote. Mimi mwenyewe nimechaguliwa hapa Kikuyu. Kwa hivyo wewe Ichung'wah unakataza mpaka waliochaguliwa hapa Kikuyu Mwishowe maafisa wa polisi waliwatimua viongozi hao wa DCP na wafuasi hao kwa kutumia vitoza machozi, wakiwafuata kwa nyuma katika barabara ya Southern Bypass. Melita Oletenges, Runinga Citizen.
So as you have seen, even after they managed to kupanga rally yao na kwanza, when Rigiji was still speaking, kidogo watu wakaanza the police started kutupia watu vitoa machozi while wakishoot juu. But before that, there was an incident of goons. So it is the goons who started, and then the police, after wameandaa rally yao, the police now wakafuata. So and on the same issue of this matter concerning what was happening in Kikuyu, I saw Nanio akihojiwa, Atuoli akihojiwa about the same incident, and he was like, Atuoli was like, ati Ruto should ban all rallies that are happening before 2027 ninio, before 2027 elections. So I think I'll just get ninio of the goons, because those goons, there was a certain driver mwenye alikuwa na complain truck yake sijui imetobolewa like sijui ni tire 7, and to repair that kind of tire it will take a lot of money. So those goons were armed because and some of the some of the motorists are really complaining about what happened to them, because the motorists are saying that the goons were attacking them and even stealing wanawaibia, and they even stopped vehicles na waka destroy some of the vehicles za watu, because there were some of the pictures that were circulating of how gari za watu zimegongwa. So I don't know, and I know tomorrow there'll be a response to this, because Rigiji had already told Ishungwa at Olkalao, najua umepanga kutuma vijana wako Saturday wakuje kwa rally yetu kutudistract, but sasa sijui did Ishungwa listen ama aliona let me just do this, and because Ishungwa also said that Rigiji ndio huwa anaorganize hii magenge ndo aseme ni yeye, so I don't know which is which, but how can someone organize people against themselves? I think the government of Kenya penye imefika, they do things and then they blame it on mwananchi, because it is the same way. This is what they just used to do during the Gen Z demonstrations, and always during other demonstrations that have been happening in the country. Wanatuma goons wao, and then in the event they say that wenye walikuwa na demonstrate ndio goons walikuwa hapo kati yao, it is not the government. Concerning this thing of goons, nimeona leo kina Babu na kina Orengo wakisema wanaenda Kisumu na wakaambia hao goons wakuje wawaue. They are ready. They send a stern warning to the goons, told them to come and kill them. And also concerning this act of goons, bado nimeona kina babu wakisema PS Omolo resign. Wamesema wanampea, is it 2 weeks? Resign. So about the incidents that has been happening in Kikuyu, before I go into a more deeper discussion about it and engage people in some questions, I saw Atuoli being told to comment on the same about the incidents of those goons and what is happening or was happening at Kikuyu today. And this is what Atuoli had to say. And also I've seen Murkomen comment on the same, na anasema ati it is these opposition leaders that are causing it. And he also said that the people who are facilitating goonism are just people who have seated.
And Kotu's position on political stability and tolerance following the incidences of instability, including the ongoing tension in Kikuyu town. He's now speaking to our very own Ibrahim Karanja. Karanja, over to you.
Earlier this morning, Wangeshi, as well as the other tension that we've seen, we saw an attack on Vihiga Center, Godfrey Osotsi, as well as tension that was in Olkalau during the memorial service for the area member of parliament, David Kiarao, who has since been buried, is what Kotu Secretary General Francis Atuoli is speaking about, and the need for political stability and to shun intolerance in the country. And I will not speak much because Atuoli is by my side here. Katibu, thank you very much. You're live on NTV. You called for a presser to speak about political instability, especially in the wake of what we are seeing this morning in Kikuyu. You're live on NTV.
What I want to say that we as workers, we are in debt.
Giving an address and Kotu's position on political stability and tolerance following the incidences of instability, including the ongoing tension in Kikuyu town. He's now speaking to our very own Ibrahim Karanja. Karanja, over to you.
Stability and to shun intolerance in the country. And I will not speak much because Atuoli is by my side here. Katibu, thank you very much. You're live on NTV. You called for a presser to speak about political instability, especially in the wake of what we are seeing this morning in Kikuyu. You're live on NTV.
What I want to say that we as workers, we are in danger, because what I'm seeing, if it is not stopped either by the government or anything else or somebody else in the authority, this country is going to go to dogs, because there is no political stability and political tolerance. People must learn how to tolerate one another. What I saw in Nyandarua, people can't even give the slightest respect to a head of state. Where is this country heading? And this is something being consumed by the international press. What is happening in Kikuyu now is a precursor of a lot of problems we are going to face if government cannot step in and stop political rallies, political agitation, and political intolerance that we have started earlier 17 months to the elections. And I want IEBC, people know very well that you can only campaign after the IEBC has already announced timelines of election and electioneering campaigns. We are not in electioneering campaigns. We have our children who are almost going back to school. We have working men and women across the country. We have to take care of our economy. We have got to take care of our farming and so on. And if we start unlike this, there will be a big disruption in the daily activities of Kenyans, and government must come out and stamp out this. And those people who are doing all this agitation, some are for selfish interests, some are not serious politicians, some are just goons like what I saw happening to sorts in Kisumu, of which the government has done very well to arrest those culprits and be arraigned in court, and let them be asked whether they were sent by somebody or there was something sinister. And also naming, also including senior civil servants in all these saga of political games. It doesn't augur well. I would urge the head of state as a grantor of peace and stability in the country to come out and ban all these rallies and make sure, and MPs, members of parliament, should support this. Because if we start like this, there will be no tolerance. People will not tolerate one another. And this might lead into either sectional, political, or tribal clashes. And this does not augur well for this region. Kenya is very well known as a satellite of economic activities in the region. And when we hamper it, we do things that are not, cannot promote the region, then even our neighbors will be able to suffer economically.
As you perhaps very briefly, in only 30 seconds, you're saying the president should ban these rallies. Under what law? I mean, the president does not have the power to ban rallies. Perhaps the IBC could come in and clarify about the elections, but also paint a picture very briefly in less than 30 seconds of how the working fraternity is being affected by such intolerance.
You want to tell me the president, as the head of the armed forces in the country, as commander-in-chief of the armed forces, he cannot be able to stop any clashes or any problems that are occurring. What is happening in Kikuyu now are clashes. People are fighting. You want him to sit at State House and see people butchering one another? He has to come out and say this must stop as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He has that leeway to tell Kenyans that please stop. It is not a question. And even it is good for those people who rush to courts and say he has no powers. They need that stability. Because if there is no stability in the country and political tolerance, each and everyone, if this ship will sink with everybody, including those who talk about constitutional issues and so on, there will be no law, there will be lawlessness, and non-tolerance is a precursor, as I've said, to a lot of problems to come.
I think all of you have seen what Atwoli is saying. Do you think what Atwoli is saying, telling the president to do about just one incident that has happened in Kikuyu is okay? He's telling the president to ban all political rallies until campaigns zianze pale 2027. But I also got a question for you guys. According to what has happened in Kikuyu today, do you think coalitions will be holding campaigns? Because they have already started showing us as early as now. Will it be possible now this time round for coalitions to hold their campaigns? Ama kama kutakuwa mko na coalition yenu and you people are not under the Kenya Kwanza government, they start with such an incident that they started today. Goons were block Kwanza ways to create chaos, and then when you arrive, polisi watumwe waanze kutupa tear gas. Do you guys think that coalitions zitakuwa zina hold rallies zao anywhere for the campaigns? Because it's every constitution in a grant any ninio as long as it is a peaceful assembling, freedom of assembling is granted by the constitution. But now we can see the government has decided hii mambo ya freedom of assembling hiyo haitambui. And do you also think that what Atwoli is saying should be implemented concerning these rallies? And another question that I have is about the MP the area MP of the place that the chaos have happened today, Kimani Ichung'wah. Do you think that he'll be elected for the 4th time? Because Ichung'wah kazi yake kwa parliament inakuanga all about bragging that he's been elected for 3 times, and it gives it gives him a lot of balls shouting at he have been elected 4 times, 3 times consecutively. Do you think the incident that has happened in Kikuyu today might affect Kimani Ichung'wah into coming back to being the MP of Kikuyu? Ama hata ikimuaffect even if he doesn't manage to through a peaceful a transparent way through the ballot, maybe because he's behind his godfather William Samoei Ruto, ata make sure amemrudisha. The third question is as Rigiji talked yesterday, and as he talks in every rally, huwa anasema anafanya operation fagia wote in the Mount Kenya region. Do you think Rigiji will manage kufagia wote? Because today I've seen Anne Waiguru talking in church, and he was talking about, the point was directed to Gachagua, and what Waiguru was saying was that alikuwa anasema he started with quoting the Bible. Just a second. Waiguru started with quoting the Bible. He was saying that the Bible says, I think he was referring to the incident that happened at Kalau when the Rigiji was talking to the president, and yeah. So Waiguru today was saying that he was relating to the incident that happened at Kalau, and he was addressing it to regard this Waiguru. She was saying that she quoted the Bible. Actually, she was saying that the Bible says that Mungu hapendi ukue moto, ati Biblia inasema it's either ukue moto ama ukue baridi. Haifai mtu akue vuguvugu, like ukue hapo katikati, we ni moto tena we ni baridi. If you've decided to be moto, be moto. If you decided to be baridi, be baridi. So she was referring to Rigathi Gachagua, because yes, we see Rigathi kama fire pale kwa rally zake, but when Waiguru was like, ati mbona venye alienda penye president ako alijifanya president wewe kama ninio. He was like, maybe they can work with the president, but the people who are around the president, Ichung'wah are the problem. So Waiguru was simply saying, I think she was addressing Rigiji, And the way we've seen in rallies, Rigiji's, and she ended up saying that for her, she's inside the government, and that is all. So do you think Waiguru will be among the people that watafagiliwa na Rigathi Gachagua, ama she will be spared? I think I'll look for that video. Don't know what it was saying. And yeah, so I think we can get some answers to that concerning the incident that happened at Kikuyu today. And there is an incident that happened yesterday at Githunguri about tear gassing the Kikuyu elders, which is affiliated to the 58-acre land that is said to yenye nataka kugrabiwa so that they build affordable housing there. So that incident today, I saw Farouk Kibet today was saying that Farouk even called the Kikuyu Council of Elders. He addressed them as wachawi. Let me see if I can find the video, because now if the leaders were tear gassed yesterday, then today the people are being tear gassed also. Now Kenya is just a community of tear gas. Ukiongea tu kidogo tear gas. Ukienda kwa street kidogo mguu kwa risasi. Risasi kwa mguu, I mean. So I think where we are heading as a country, we will head to a very deep state of anarchy. Just a sec, I'm checking for the video where Farouk was talking today.
Your business is losing money and you don't know about it. So let's look at your business. At the core of its financials,
So Farouk is anachukua the Kikuyu elders that were being tear gassed yesterday as ni kama watu hawana heshima, because this is what he said today.
Mnaisa wazee ya mia, msifanye kitendo ambaye jana tuliona. Wazee wa heshima ya jamii
msiende mkafanya maneno kwa sababu watoto wenu wanahubiri ukabila. Fanye kitendo ambaye jana tuliona. Wazee wa heshima ya jamii, msiende mkafanya maneno kwa sababu watoto wenu wanahubiri ukabila. Eti unasimama na kuleta mbuzi nyeupe, kuleta nini, kukashifu. Jameni, jameni Wakristo nyinyi ambayo mmefika hapa, tunasema tukashifu ukabila. Mimi nataka nisikie makofi ya kwamba ukabila ishindwe. Tunapoongea namna hiyo, tunajua athari za fujo, tunajua athari za mitomo ambaye inachochea wananchi. Hapa Mailine watu waishi na amani. Hapa Mailine washirikiane vile tunaona Waislamu sasa tunakumbatiana na wao, wanaweza simama hapa washukuru, watuunge mkono, sisi pia tuwaunge mkono na Kenya iende mbele. Hiyo ndio maneno ambayo tunataka kusema. Na hawa viongozi ambaye wanaleta mambo ya uchochezi, sasa mnaenda kwa constituent ya Kimani Ichung'wah. Hamuendi huko kuambia wananchi tufanye empowerment. Hamuendi huko kuambia wananchi tunataka shule ijengwe. Mnaenda ati mnatangaza mkutano kubwa, na mbele yenu mumetuma watu kuharibu mali ya watu. Kama mtu atatuma watu wakuja hapa Mailine kupiga wamama, kushurutisha watu kwa sababu ya ubinafsi, watu ya Mailine na watu ya Tarbo na watu ya Kenya, mnapenda namna hiyo? Lazima tuishi kwa amani. Ndio tunaambia hawa viongozi potofu, viongozi zero maneno, kwamba tafuteni, na hata ukija hii kanisa SDA watakufunza.
Yeah, so Farouk claims that the elders that were talking yesterday about their land not being taken away, they are being influenced by the opposition. How? And anywhere that people want to take your land, the elders must always be responsible and awaken the people, and even them themselves waende wakashifu kitendo kama hicho, because that is their land, it's their traditional land. How can it be taken by the government waanze kujenga nyumba zao huko? How? Because I saw another mzee yesterday talking, akisema hiyo ni land ambayo hata watu wenye walikuwa naenda kupigania maumau they used to meet there nini. Now how can you just come from nowhere, you want to take that land, and then now sahi sasa upon nini allies wa Ruto wanasema the kind of things that they are saying now? Is it right? On another news today, I also saw this one, will be talking about it every day. This is a daily bread about the IEBC. I can see it has been continuing with the registration of new voters, which will, they said it will end in April 28th. And I have seen, according to the IEBC report so far, they have registered, the new number of registered voters is 800,000, yeah, approximately 875,501. And among the top counties that have the highest number of the newly registered voter, at number 1 we have Nairobi, which leads with the 96,897. After Nairobi we have Kiambu, which follows with the 46,265. And at number 3 we have Kakamega with 40,110. And I've seen the Tuko Kadi, the one of the youths who started this Tuko Kadi initiative, Alan Ademba. He's been in Kitale today, and kulikuwa na a massive number of followers. And also, apart from that, I've seen that the IBC have promised the people that next year elections will be very transparent. So I'll just try to look one of the videos.
Louder than any campaign speech. This was not an ordinary gathering. It was the Tuko Kadi Kitale edition, and from the first hour, the numbers made one thing clear. This was a movement finding its full voice. Hundreds of youths and residents turned up, many arriving in groups from Saboti and neighboring areas. Some came on foot, others on borders, all drawn by a single message that has been spreading rapidly across social media and communities alike. Register, get your voter card, and be counted. The atmosphere was energetic but focused. Music played, chants broke out, small groups sang as they waited their turn, and in between the movement and the celebration, there was purpose. People were there to register. Many proudly held up their voter cards after completing the process, repeating the now familiar phrase, Tuko Kadi. It was not just a slogan, it was a statement of readiness. Behind the turnout was coordinated effort blending online influence and grassroots mobilization. Local influencers, TikTok creation, and community organizers had spent days amplifying the call. By the time the event arrived, the response had already been set in motion. The Kitale edition became a clear example of how digital momentum can translate into real-world participation. As the crowds grew, the political undertones also became visible. Saboti Member of Parliament Caleb Amisi was present, and his presence sparked chants from sections of the crowd. Caleb, three-term, echoed repeatedly, signaling both support and rising expectations from constituents. Kadi coordinator Alan Ademba later pointed to what he described as deliberate attempts to interfere with the process. According to Ademba, there were individuals sent to disrupt the smooth flow of registration. Despite those claims, the crowds did not disperse. Instead, the opposite happened. The numbers held lines remained long, and the process continued. What stood out was not just the allegation, but the response. Participants stayed focused on the goal. Registration continued. The turnout remained strong. Ademba maintained that similar efforts across the country are targeting millions of new voter registrations, especially among young people who have often remained on the sidelines of electoral processes. In Kitale, that target did not seem distant. It looked achievable. IEBC officials in the region reportedly noted a clear spike in registrations, aligning with what organizers had projected. The numbers were not just visible, they were measurable. For many of those in lines, the motivation went beyond politics. One participant described it simple. This is about voice, future, and accountability. The sentiment was repeated across conversations in the crowd. People were not just showing up, they were thinking ahead. The Tukokadi movement, which began as a social media trend, has now grown into a structured civic push. Its message is consistent across counties: register, participate, and influence outcomes.
So, as you have seen, Tukokadi is still strong, and yeah, I've just read some of the statistics that I have so far, and the numbers that the IEBC has currently of the newly registered voters, and the three counties that are leading in the registration with their numbers, and yeah, they have given us an assurance according to how I was following up the IEBC updates so far. Wametuambia that they'll ensure that the election is going to be transparent. That's what they are saying. So those are the questions that I had for you for today. I earlier asked about hiyo ya kina Gachagua, and I have one more or two more to ask about this incident that is happening in the country, because if maybe one opposition leader, God forbid, might be silenced completely in the midst of this chaos of sending the police to disrupt and tear gas peaceful assemblies, how do you think Kenya will be? Because I know where we are headed as a country, Kenya is going to burn if we don't make sure that we have sent some of these leaders home, because after all, they don't care. with the way they are talking, they really don't care. And do you think the way our freedoms of speech zimeanza kuwa interfered with, hawataki any opposition people waende anywhere to air their views or to listen to the ground and tell the mwananchi what is happening with this government? And do you think this act of sending the police and this act of sending goons, this political intolerance that is happening beyond the judiciary, where else can we pressure? Because it seems like the judiciary has been put in the pocket, and it has become kind of hard for us Kenyans, because hadi venye wananchi tulidecide tukatoka tukaenda streets, bado tulipigwa tear gas, bado our friends were killed, and still justice hasn't been served even after all the evidence has been provided. So beyond the judiciary, what do you think can we pressurize to make sure that tunakuwa sawa? And what can we do to defend the future of the democracy of this country? Because it's like we are not different to where we have reached as a country. We are not different to the colonial era. It is just that the colonialists have a different color. They are blacks now, but they are inaitwa ukoloni mamboleo, neocolonialism. It's like they're just doing the same things, because when it comes to matters such as land, you've seen several people in the country crying about their land being grabbed. And kama hii leo ya Gachagua kwenda Kikuyu, it's just another way of like freedom of movement being denied, because hao kina Gachagua hawakuweza hata kufika Kikuyu town where they had planned, and where they were doing the rally, kidogo tu polisi walitupa tear gas wakadisperse the crowd. So today's message to Kenyans, hatukusikia vizuri from the opposition. I don't know if there'll be another rally tomorrow, or maybe they'll go somewhere tomorrow to talk to us about what has happened. Yeah. Yeah, so concerning some of the videos that I've played, where I started with what happened in Kikuyu today, those of you who are watching can give some of your views or interact with me in the comment section, as we also await other fellows to join us. For those who will be coming to the studio, those who want to join the studio, the link is over there. Yeah. So I think I'll also find that video ya Waiguru yenye alikuwa anasema kama ni mtu kukua vuguvugu akue vuguvugu, mtu asikue vuguvugu. Kama ni kukua moto ukue moto, kama ni kukua baridi ukue baridi. Does it mean that hii kitu ya fagia wote haita affect Waiguru because of the way she's talking. It's like, I got this. Let me try to look for it.
Na wale ambao wanaenda Singapore, mimi nikiwa mmoja wao, alafu kuna wengine, lakini mimi nitasema tu Biblia wa Revelations chapter 3 inaongea kuhusu kanisa ambayo niseme kwa kizungu Laodicea. It's about the Laodicean church, and you had Mugambi saying we've known each other for many years. From when we were very young, we used to go to the same church. We grew up in church together. It says it would have been good. Ingekuwa nzuri zaidi. Ingekuwa wewe ungekuwa moto ama wacha nirudie kwa Kizungu. It would have been better if you were either hot or cold, not lukewarm. Sindio? Si siasa ni Biblia. Either hot or cold, but not. But because you're lukewarm, it says, I will spew you out of our mouth. Today we were asked whether tuko na ile kura ya mbinguni. Sindio? Na hiyo basi na apply kwa hiyo maneno ya cold na hot ya mbinguni, lakini pia ina apply kwa hot na cold ya nini? Ya hapa duniani. Sitaki kuongea siasa, lakini kule kwetu tunasema kazi iongee, na nadhani mnatusikia na tutarudi siku nyingine kuongea maneno ya siasa. Pande wetu wa serikali siwezi kukaa chini, nitakuwa nimekosea sana nisiposema sisi tuko ndani ya serikali, katikati ya serikali, na hapo ndani ya serikali hatufanyi nini? Hatutoki. Ya pili, hatutakubalisha mwelekeo ambao utapoteza Mlima Kenya. Hatutakubali sisi, na kwa sababu rafiki yangu mmoja ameniambia ninashindwa kuongea, sitaki nikae chini alafu mtu aseme hata Waigoro kule Meru aliogopa kuongea. Wacha niseme tu for the record, we are standing with the government of one William Samoei Ruto.
So I think you've all heard what Waiguru is saying. Will she be spared in 2027 or pia yeye term yake itakuwa imeenda hivyo? Because yeye amesema she's among those of who are going to Singapore and ako ndani ya serikali. So I had just asked one question earlier. When Rigiji is saying in the Mount Kenya region anafagia wote, do you think that Waiguru is among the people who will be swept away, ama she will be spared because ako ndani ya serikali na anaenda Singapore? And also earlier when we were talking about what has happened in Kikuyu, which is very barbaric, there was also an issue of goonism that happened last week, and I've seen now Osotsi is out of hospital. Na kina Babu have given a sound warning to the goons and told the PS to resign. Let me also find the video close to that.
Here's the reality. Your college degree on these matters, wounds, as Honorable Soti has said it, together with Honorable Sifuna,
we are coming to Kisumu after the Nakuru rally. I know the government, you always wanted our blood. You've been paying for our blood. We have decided that we are bringing our blood to you. Yes. Don't even look for us. We are coming to Kisumu. Please bring all your goons, the possible ones that you can manage to mobilize. We want those goons to kill us this time. We want to die there. We will die. At least history will be written and we'll be on the right side of history that we died for a just cause. So we are coming to die in Kisumu. Be ready to finish us in Kisumu. Raymond Omolo. Raymond Omolo. Raymond Omolo. We are not putting in Murkomen in this, and it's your boss. Why are we not fighting him in this? Yet he's a member of two-term. He's in government. But we are singling out Raymond Omolo. I've never seen an insecure PS like Raymond Omolo, a person with low self-esteem. Kibisho used to be a PS, an interior PS for interior. I'm sure 90% of Kenyans can't even recall Kibisho's face, but it was powerful. This one who must use goons to look like he's powerful. What are you trying to do? We've grown in this street, and we know these streets. You will not finish us in these streets. We are smarter than you in these streets. Osotsi that you're seeing here today did not attend a rally in Kisumu. You guys never wanted us to attend a rally in Kisumu, which eventually we were coming to attend a rally. We were coming to hold a rally in Kisumu. Osotsi here was not in a political rally. Osotsi was having his meeting and his tea at a cafe. Then you attack Osotsi. So which means that whether we hold a rally or don't hold a rally, you still want to attack us. So we are coming to hold a rally. I want to tell these goons. And first of all, Raymond Omolo, use these goons that you are misusing and abusing. Use these goons. Give them jobs in the forces. Wacha wawe kwa jeshi because wako na nguvu sana wa protect this country. Wengine wawekwe kama police, wengine wapelekwe kama GPOS. Wamenyane na majambazi huko. But if you are using these goons and you are not giving them jobs, and the goons should listen carefully that we are fighting for you. We are not against you. We are fighting for you. We want to ensure that that child that you have at home, we want to ensure that you get school fee to pay for that child that is at home. We want to ensure that you get money to pay rent. We want to ensure that you get money, you get jobs so that you can get money, so that you can get food. That is what we are fighting. We are not the enemies of the state. We are defenders of the people. We are ensuring that Kenyans' rights are protected, are respected. We are just asking the government that why don't you give jobs if you promise jobs? And that's so wrong. Ruto himself, when he was being sworn in, he said that he wanted a strong opposition. Why does he want to meet a strong opposition with goons? Why can't it be a war of ideology? And then they want to brand Kisumu as being a very hostile and a bad place. These are few individuals. It is not the whole of Kisumu. And I want to tell members of the media, if you look at Ahero, there are 5 of Raymond Omolo's goons who were killed 1 week ago because they were robbing people, they were killing people, they were trying to steal from innocent Kenyans. One of them was taken from the house, and it is the community that was doing this because the community there is tired of insecurity. They went, removed him from the house, beat him up as a community. He was taken to a hospital, admitted there. In the same hospital, there was a patient that this goon had attacked, who was admitted in that hospital. Then this patient called members of the community who came, removed him from the oxygen, and killed him outside the hospital. That is what happened. That is what happened because police is supposed to protect innocent Kenyans. Police is not doing their work. Where Honorable Sotsi was, there are police officers in that place, but they could not act because these police officers are compromised. The way, when I was issuing a presser here, I named all these groups, 17 of them. Only 3 have been arrested. And true to that list, the DCI also named the same people that I mentioned. But what is surprising is that the manner in which these goons were arrested. One boy Akoth, who is the head of these goons, and by the way, Mheshimiwa Soti, while you were there at Java, boy Akoth, who is the head of these goons, who is being given money by Raymond to pay them, was with you in the same place. Then he left, went to the rooftop at Acacia. Then he's the one who summoned these goons to come and attack you. Something funny is that the police officers called boy Akoth to tell him to hand over these boys. Are you seeing the way the police are it's even working? They didn't go to arrest them. They just said, please bring them back because they're fresh. So these goons, we are coming to Kisumu. We want to know how strong you are. This time round, let us know how strong you are. And please be prepared. Please be prepared. Police, because you don't.
I can see Goodyear, you are in the building. Hope you are good. I can also see Regenerate. How are you guys? How has your day been? Wangapi walienda Kikuyu kwa ile rally so that they give us updates from the ground? Sababu sisi tumeonea tu mitandaoni. Goodyear, were you there? Or Regenerate? Or any other person who is watching the podcast that was there? Tunaonanga zile za coast, msimamo huenda. Hizi za Nairobi sijui kama kuna mwenye alienda leo. Goodyear is saying Kimani Ichung'wah is evil. Yeah, I saw people have now started, people in Kikuyu are chanting that Kimani Ichung'wah must go. I don't know what he's going to say in parliament next week because ndio Ichung'wah anakuanga ni kama he knows everything. Goodyear is saying, I watched on the media, why would Kichung'wah fight his own people? Hukusikia last week Rigiji kwa hiyo burial akimwambia Ichung'wah aache utoto. So sijui, I don't know what is disturbing Ichung'wah. And I don't know if this time round niliona leo nani Rigiji akisema akimwambia Ichung'wah he doesn't think if Ichung'wah is Kikuyu is a real Kikuyu because of the way he's sending people to beat his brothers and Regenerate saying, I just watched the unfolding on TV. It was sad to see police. Yeah, I just watched the unfolding on TV. It was sad to see the police tear gas the people. Kimani amekwisha. Yeah, I know, because Kimani thinks that anatisha watu and he wants to rule through terror, but since rais mwenyewe ndiye anasema kila mtu atapimwa na kazi yake, Ichung'wah atapimwa na hii yake. Goodyear, sijui kama mlikuwa hapa na Regenerate when I was asking some of the questions that are linked to today's rally. Sijui kama mmefuatilia show kutoka mwanzo ama mmekuja mkaingilia katikati. I don't know kama mmefuatilia kutoka mwanzo. Because I was just asking that for what Ishungwa has done, do you think he will be elected for the 4th time? Because here who brag he's an MP that has been elected 3 times. Do you think that people will elect him for the 4th time? Because yes, atajificha nyuma ya tent ya baba yake ambaye ni Ruto. Maybe atamfinance ama maybe helping him rig the elections, but I don't think he'll be elected again. The people of Kikuyu will think of electing a person like Ishungwa again. And then concerning what has happened today also in Kikuyu, do you think that coalitions will have a chance to do their assembling peacefully when it comes to campaigning next year in order to kwenda kwa ballot? Ama rallies za coalitions zingine, coalition yenye itakuwa coalition ya ama rally za parties zenye zitakuwa under opposition zinakuwa disrupted like the way we saw today. Wanatuma goons kwanza waanzishe, alafu after the people have come together now to start the rally, polisi wanatumwa watupe tear gas. Goodia is saying that Goodia anasema I was listening but you sorry for that, Goodia. See how to work on the same. Sijui kama for those in the comment section, kama mmeona ile video ya Waiguru and video ya Atwoli who has said he was being asked about this incident that happened in Kikuyu. Akasema anataka kuambia President Ruto kwamba ban all political rallies. That is what Atwoli is saying. He's saying that President Ruto should ban all political rallies until ile time ya campaign sasa zitaanza officially. Goodia is saying even the united opposition are not together. It to their own when the real elections arrive. What do you mean, Goodia? Ati? What do you mean they are not together? And as we have been seeing, wamekuwa pamoja across all the regions of Kenya. He's saying they are not alone. They are not together. I think mumeona pia hiyo video nimeplay ya Babu. Babu amesema they don't fear goons now anymore. And after the Linda Mwananchi rally in Nakuru, wataenda sasa Kisumu. And since the government has been wanting their blood, now they are taking the blood to them. Wamesema serikali imekuwa inataka damu yao, sasa wanapelekea serikali hiyo damu hao wenyewe. And mumesikia akisema kuna goons wametandikwa wakauawa. I remember there was was it the day before yesterday when Mkora was here saying that our goons, they're supposed to be taught a lesson anywhere they go. Wakienda mahali walete vurugu, wapigwe proper. Because if you see the kind of destruction that they have caused today in Kikuyu, the way they have been, the things that they have been doing to the motorists, the things that they have done to people's vehicles, it wasn't nice at all. It wasn't. Goodia is saying, do you think when real elections come, people will be campaigning for each other when they are all fight for positions safely? So, Goodia, you think when it comes to 2027, hakutakuwa na coalitions, kila mtu ataamua aende kivyake so that apate chenye anataka? Some channels say that they will be dealing with goons. Yeah, I think where it has reached in Kenya, goons wanafaa wadiliwe with proper, so that they know anywhere penye wanaenda kuzua vurugu, wajue they won't go scot free. Simesikia babu akisema some of the goons wa Raymond pale Ahero, 5 of them were killed last week. Amesema last week ama 2 weeks ago. They were killed. But now, even if they get killed, itakuwa funzo kwa goons wengine? Ama goons wataendelea tu as long as imekuwa career sasa wanalipwa, they won't be shaken? I don't know. You are the people to answer me that. I can also see Goodia is saying that this is Kenyan politics. We have to practice opposite minds. Okay, let's wait and see how things will go. But in your own opinion, Goodia, how do you think these goons should be dealt with? Because they have become something else in our society. They have become something else. Should goons be killed anywhere they are found causing some chaos or doing some of the things that they are always being sent to do? Should goons be spared? No, I don't think they should be spared because they are not sparing Kenyans. Juu kama leo I've seen there is a driver who was crying about what the goons have done to truck yake. Goody is saying to deal with the goons, you have to deal with the master first. I've seen kina Babu wakiambia Raymond Omolo resign. Do you think that will be a solution? Even if Raymond resigns, do you think there will be a solution to this? Ama ataenda na aendelee kufinance hiyo goon squad yake aseme now that I'm out of government, I don't have anything to lose. Dia anasema that in the history of goonism in Kenya, I have never seen them brought to justice. Sasa Goody, kama hawayuko brought to justice, should people do to them what they do to people? Wamalizane tu nao hivyo, because justice isn't served. um mhm. I can see pale comment section someone is saying that Babu Owino is double standards. He knew some of the goons years back when he lived in Kondele. They were among his circle. It's a bit political. Why now? Are you sure you can prove whatever that you are saying? So I guess I've found the video. So those goons were even demanding money from motorists. Peter Mbudia is asking, where is Rigiji going to church tomorrow? I don't know where he's going tomorrow, but maybe he doesn't want to unveil, so that unaweza pata pia akisema na kesho atakuwa wapi, goons will be sent. So I don't know where he'll be going, Peter Mbudia. You want to go there? Or were you in Kikuyu today, Peter? There is no one in the forum who went to Kikuyu. Next time mtu ajitolee tuende. If you are able to run, that is, yeah. Kama una mbio, usiandamane na mimi. You. Yeah. Good, yeah, funny how. Asking someone who we can go with for the next rally. It can even be you. Tuletea watu information yenye tumetoa kwa ground. I can see Robert Oino is saying, Conman Ruto was given a secured country. He's saying Conman Ruto was given a secured country and now he has turned it like Haiti. Yeah, where we are heading as a nation, don't know. Next time make sure, Peter, next time make sure ukui uko in spirit. Unakuwa uko physically. We can go with you. Peter Mbudia, in your own opinion, what do you think should be done to goons? Because Goody amesema hapa hivi, in the history of goonism in Kenya, justice has never been served. they're saying that Ichungwa warned us to stay away from the mountain, and Gladys Wanga warned us to stay away from Nyanza. Yeah. All of them, if it goes well, as Kenyans have planned, they will go home in 2027. You had Professor Ogola yesterday saying the dogs will go and they will go with its owners. Peter Mbuthe is saying in her hero, 5 goons unalived. This is the motto. So mmesema goons wapelekwe Sayuni. Hakuna kungoja kupelekwa kotini. I've also seen in the same incident in Kikuyu today, even the journalists were attacked, which is not supposed to be the case. And let me just try to open.
And nation are also affected as officers in civilian clothing with concealed identity. Journalists from NTV and Nation are also affected as officers in civilian clothing with concealed identities and armed with guns moved in to disperse the crowd in scenes that many described as life-threatening. NTV's David Muvoka spent the day in Kikuyu and now reports on the events as they unfolded.
What was meant to be a peaceful political rally turned into an afternoon of chaos in Kikuyu as run in battles between.
David Muvoka spent the day.
Yeah. Yeah, there is one here. I don't know kama umesema the previous ones zilikuwa na ad zilikuwa zinakusumbua. Think
Day in Kikuyu and now reports on the events as they unfolded.
What was meant to be a peaceful political rally turned into an afternoon of chaos in Kikuyu as running battles between residents and police gripped the town. Tension was already building by 3 p.m., long before the opposition convoy arrived. Supporters had gathered at Kikuyu Gitaru Junction to receive former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua with little sense of what was coming. The moment his convoy came into view, tear gas filled the air, paint bursts, thick white smoke, and silent clouds of gas scattering the crowd in every direction. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka and former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i were caught in the chaos, forced to flee alongside their teams as the situation spiraled. Despite the heavy police presence, Gachagua's convoy pushed through into Kikuyu town.
Tumekuwa pale tukikuja na akina Kalonzo na akina Matiang'i. Polisi wametuvamia na risasi, wakatumavia na tear gas. Lakini kwa sababu mimi ni mtoto ya Mau Mau, nimesema lazima niingie Kikuyu.
The opposition is now pointing to today's events as evidence of a government they say has turned against its own people, and they are already framing it as a rallying cry ahead of the August 2027 election. The confrontation today in Kikuyu, the political backyard of National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, was widely seen as a territory marking stand.
Alisema Rifiji hatafika Kikuyu. Rifiji amefika hajafika. Rifiji amefika hajafika. Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Kiongozi wa Mlima Kenya ni nani? Nani kiongozi wa Mlima Kenya? Nikiwa hapa Kikuyu, niko nyumbani, siko nyumbani. Wewe Ichung'wah, wewe bwana wetu, tabia zako kama Ichung'wah, hatuamini wewe ni Mkikuyu. Hii ni Kikuyu ama tumekosea njia? Hii ni Kikuyu. Rifiji amefika, seneta amefika, wabunge wamefika. Kasongo lazima akwende. Nimetangaza operation Faria ya kufaria wasaliti wa jamii yetu. Nikisema harambee, mnasema Faria. Harambee! Wasaliti wote, UDA, Wilbaro, Kimani Ichung'wah, Wamuraza, Wamachukuru, Soprano, Akasaba.
Ichung'wah, who had put on protective gear, was however unable to finish his address as gunfire and tear gas continued in his direction. Journalists were not spared either. As we attempted to move to safety, tear gas canisters were lobbed in our direction, one landing right on my lap, and upon tossing it away, it exploded mid-air.
I can see Roba is in the building. Karibu Roba. Sijui kama umeona kilichofanyika huku leo.
I know what's going on. I just saw that one now. I think so, you can tell how losing government. So why is the government interfering with people who want to go to a meeting? And in fact, Ruto was told about this meeting. You know, that's why he told you Gachagua is very, very wise. He brought this thing during them. He told them, this is what you want to do. So instead of the government going to protect the people, instead they go there to interrupt them. So at this point, the government has failed. Well, for me, I just go to should resign from office. We should resign. So he wants us to be everything like where he comes from, his backyard, and people, if they can't have political rallies and everything, what's the problem of Ricky having a political rally in Kikuyu? The same way, this conman, he can go to Nyandarua. So just because he has power now, he's trying to misuse that power to try to think that he can force all of us. I mean, he thinks, you know, the problem with this conman, he thinks that everything belongs to him. He's the final man. He thinks that Kenya was just born yesterday. I don't know what he forgets. I don't know. Look what he said before he came in. Now, let us go back and remember the so-called vice president of that time, Conman Ruto, when during the Uhuru time, complaints of Uhuru. If you go step by step, you can just prove this man was a conman, he's a liar, he was not even ready to be a president. the only thing which remains right now, do we go this way because the country is out of control right now? It's out of control. If you cannot hold a meeting, if you could wake up, Southern Bypass is full of people. I mean, just like, where's the police? So which means the country is not secure. The country is not secure. Every Kenyan should just say, the country is not secure. Now we call for United Nations, the African nations, and others to come and help with the security. This is a common. Yeah. And what surprised me is just like around all the police stations around that area, he has put people from his own tribe. That was shocked me. Yeah. I mean, if this is the way to go now, no. We have a constitution, and the constitution should be respected. I think I agree with Sivuna when he said it's a criminal. This guy is more than a criminal. He should be arrested immediately when we say the other president takes over. I don't know who will be the next president, but when the opposition takes over, whoever will be the president at that time, 2027, because this conman cannot be a president. Then he becomes a president, then I can see a civil war. I think what he's trying to do is just trying to survive. You cannot survive by it's just trying to intimidate people. That's what he's doing. What he forgets is what he told us before he came in. Remember when he said Uhuru Kenyatta was a dictator, he's running people. This guy is even more worse. This guy is more than Moi. Yeah, this guy is more than Moi. And today, I want to hear people who come from the Kalenjin. How comes whenever the Kalenjin people are given power in our country, they turn to be dictators? I mean, I don't mean all Kalenjins are bad people, but the two people we have been given a sample. We've been given a sample of Moi. Now we have been given a sample of Ruto. And these two samples, they are doing things the same way. During Moi time, it was all this kind of nonsense which was wrong in the country. He has realized he's not going a second term. He has started all this kind of nonsense. Yeah? Somebody has to tell him he's a criminal who should not be given even a minute, even a second, to be a president of our country. At this point, I think, for me, I don't know where to start from. Yeah, we have freedom of expression. Now we can't hold a rally. Only those who are like UDA and those who Wanamunga Mukono, they are the only people who can just go like, they are the people who can be treated. The other ones, jobs, yeah. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. The more he's destroying himself, by the way. Can you tell me all these people you see in the Kikuyu? But even before I proceed, on behalf of those who went to Alliance High School, Ichungwa is not our spokesman. Ichungwa does not represent the way we were built as when you go to that institution. When you go to Alliance High School, when you come out, you don't come out like Ichungwa. That guy, I can see him sometimes, he keeps on saying, he thinks that because he went to Alliance High School, he's clever than everybody else. What about some of us who went there? You are not clever than us. Yeah? This guy is a conman. So he's just, how? First of all, he's gone. He cannot win. Yeah, he cannot win. And that's it then more. He knows that. But the problem is, do we use force because the other people are winning, or do we use force because we are winning? That one should not be. In a democracy, in a Kenyan democracy, all people should be given equal treatment, not because of what the government wants to hear. Some of us, we are against the government because they are incapable. They are incapable in making jobs. They are incapable of protecting the people. They are incapable of doing anything. From all insurance and other things, we know that. We know that. But now, since now security becomes a problem in our country, then we are becoming a Haiti. What's the difference between Haiti, Somali, even Southern Sudan? What's the difference? There's no difference. When people cannot assemble peacefully, those people, you just go there, Kikuyu. I know Kikuyu very well. I know from there they went around, I think, Musakitau and there's some other places. But a lot of things have changed now, but I know it very well because we went there for 4 years. So for me, I think this is wrong. And I think what happened in Kisumu, what happened in Kakamega during, Mwananchi when they went down there, and what has been happening, opposition, they are being harassed. That's more time. And yet, you root to the oh, when I take over, when I become a president, opposition should be treated. Remember when Alikuwa president, when he was being shown in, he wants a strong opposition. Yeah, he said it, we saw it. He said it. He wants a strong opposition so that democrats prevail. It's just, he can't have it both ways. He's a dictator. He should gone wrong way. He was not even supposed to be our president anyway. I don't know how he came. I don't know he won or he never won, but he got the opportunity. But now, 3 years in, almost 4 years, he has proven that he's incapable of being a president of a country. The remaining time, if I was him, the best thing I can do for himself, he can just say tomorrow, he can announce tomorrow, maybe a few months from now, that he's not going to go for a rerun or he's not going to seek a second term because the country is against him. It is against him because he has not done his job. And there's no better than person, like I keep on saying, who has united Kenyans than Kasongo himself. And at this point, I say this way, Kasongo must go because even those ones who are just like, let us give him a chance. Let's give him a chance. Now, time is gone. From now to 2027 is a short period of time. There's nothing he can do. All he's doing right now is destroying the country, stealing and destroying, stealing and destroying. And when everything's all done, because everything will come to an end, Trudeau's presidency will be of chaotic, chaos, corruption, and a lot of things. Even the historians will tell us that. They read books about it. Yeah, so let me just leave it there. I just came from church, just trying to get in. Thank you for opening the show. Yesterday we opened, but nobody came in. I hope today, with these events, people will come in later on when Jude comes in. But thank you for opening the show. And let's see. I saw Alex. Where's Alex? I thought he's going to come in. I've been waiting for him. So Alex should be there. I think he was on the comment side here. So I hope he's going to come in.
I've only seen Goodia and ama anajita jina gani kwa comment, because I've not seen him.
Oh, I think I had you saying Alex's name there. Let me see. Oh,
it was Goodia, Peter, and
Boone is Alex. Boone is Alex.
Bundi is there. I can't see Bundi.
That's it. I think I had you saying his name. That's why I said it was on the comment section. So I don't know, but he's there. Yeah, that's Alex. We call him Alex.
So I had a question that I asked Roba.
Yes.
I asked this question that what do we do to defend the future of our democracy as Kenyans? Because where we have reached, it's like what we used to term as democracy, as a government of the people and for the people. It is no longer there. It's like the leaders have decided to be over the constitution and the honors of the government. And another question that I asked was beyond the judiciary, who should we pressure in order for these people to be held accountable? Because where it has reached in Kenya, it's like the judiciary has been put in the pocket.
In fact, before you even talk of the judiciary, at this point, when it comes security is killing the country, and be it from domestic or international criminals, we are talking about the so-called DCI and ESC, which is supposed to be independent. If you see what happened in Kisumu when we are being told that DCI have arrested so and so, so the DCI, they are above everybody, even above the president. They can investigate him. The president can be whatever commander in chief, but it doesn't mean that he cannot be investigated as Kenya. Nobody's above the law. So what has fed this democracy at this point, I can tell you, is separation of power. The problem with our country is just like a president becomes a monarchy. We think that he's the king of Saudi Arabia, he's the king of Kuwait, of these countries where everything comes from them. He's the final man, is the chief justice, is whatever comes from that office is the final say. That's not the way our constitution works, and that's the problem. So at this point, if we had our DCI and ESC working as separate, some of these things could be in fact like these wounds. This something could have been investigated, even if it's Raymond Omondi, if I'm pronouncing his name properly, if he was involved. Yes, they can even come and file charges against him. Even if it means a secretary, if it's the ones behind it, now these independent bodies, they can come and file charges against so and so. If they didn't want to do the Kenyan people what they are meant to, then now the courts comes in where Raymond Omondi will say, no, it's not me. And the DCI will say, no, we have investigated you. And from there, the courts could decide what's the way forward. So the failure comes to the institutions we are in the constitution. They are supposed to be independent, but instead these institutions, they think that they are there to serve the president, who's a dictator, who's a conman, and at this point they're just like waiting everything comes from them. Yeah, it's not up to interior minister to come and tell us, oh, this and that. Then the DCI what investigating. DCI is supposed to investigate everything to 100%. Right now, what you see in Kikuyu is a crime scene. It's a crime scene which has been committed by the government of the day. A crime scene which has been committed by the police. Who gave the authority of police to go and just tear gassing people? Who told them to do that? What criminal do they do for them to go there and interfere with their meeting? Where's the crime? And that's where we go wrong. If you look at developed countries, yeah, such things, they take care of it. Even a president or a prime minister, they are not above the law. The problem with us, we think when you are a member of parliament, when you are a secretary, because you can carry ambayo iko na bendera, you are above the law. Or when you have money in the bank, you are above the law. Unaona? Nitakupiga, nitakuua, tena nitakulipia. Unajua hiyo msema vile wanasema, because the powerful. The problem in our country is hatufuati katiba yetu. That's the problem. Before the way the constitution was, most of the people you see here, they will be not walking free. They will be in jail because some of them have committed crimes, but because the members of parliament, the secretaries, they know a powerful person, mtoto is this way, or my father is this way, it's powerful, we can do what we want. That's not the country. We want a country where we respect the law, rule of law. And most of these things here is being brought to me. I just feel it's something, maybe someone can disagree with me. I just feel right now, all this is being brought here because we don't have enough jobs for people to do. People are idle. People can be bought. People have nothing to do. People don't have careers to protect. I'm telling you, if you see some people waking up 5 a.m, because they don't have jobs to do. If somebody at 5 a.m, they were coming from a job, they'll be going to sleep. 24/7. Other countries have jobs 24/7. But Kenya, it's just like everybody wants to do a government job. Those who come there, instead of expanding the economy, they are contracted. It's been contracted. It's just like they are slimming it all. They are just killing it through corruption. They are just killing it through unprofessional and through what's called smuggling. Yeah, that's the problem. The problem in our country is jobs, and the economy is not working. Everybody, youths, not youths, old, young, they are hydro. I want a kasi. So it's just like kitu kama hiyo. In fact, I can tell you for free. Even these people now, politicians ambao wanaenda hii mikutano, naona with a lot of people in a working country where people have their jobs, they're busy. You cannot see as many people as those ones because some politician has come there. Kwa sababu Kenya hatuna kazi, watu wako hydro, hakuna kitu ya kufanya. That's where you keep on wanaenda huko. We keep on just going there. Yeah, until we solve the problem of the economy. Then we sasa tutakuwa sisi waombaji. We are worshiping them kwa sababu tunataka kitu kutoka kwao. And that's what's happening. This is happening because of a poor economy, and I might be wrong, but at the end of the day, if kama mimi niko na pesa yangu na mfuko, kwa nini nienda hapo? Somebody want to tell me some nonsense. Somebody nienda kufanya some other things. If I'm satisfied, niko na kasi yangu na kila kitu. I don't know whether I've answered your question, but that's how far I can go.
And on the same incident that happened in Kikuyu today, I think I played another video here of Atwoli who was being asked about his comment on what was happening in Kikuyu today. And he was like, what President Ruto should do is that Ruto should ban all rallies until waeke campaigns zianze next year. Do you think this was something from a person with a sound mind? Someone
who said it? Daniel
Atwoli said that today.
Oh, that's another loser. That conman, that's another man who's, this is the same man. Remember during the Raila campaign when alituambia miti, waende kukata miti, huyu atachinyonga afanye nini? Sasa ni rafiki yake. Unaona? If we are people like him, Kenya could never progress. Atwoli has been in power. So some of us, I don't know even, I was born, maybe I found Atwoli in power. Me, in my life, I just came to find out Atwoli was CEO, called to whatever it was being called. He has been there forever. So the problem is that man is not supposed to be representing all those employees union. But I don't know even how he gets in the powers and everything. That man is the most conmanship. He has a lot of he's a conman. Because if you look at him, every government, when it comes in, whoever wins, anaenda nakimbia huko. I get it. That's how he survives. That's he's able to get all these women and whatever it is, because I don't know how many wives he has. He has the money. I don't know. The thing is, that's his own life. I don't want to interfere there. But the problem I have with him is the fact that he keeps on sometimes lying to people. When you come here and tell people that Ruto has power to suspend campaigns, which power does Ruto has to suspend? He has no power. Our constitution gives us, in the constitution, if I might be wrong, we have freedom of expression. Freedom of expression doesn't mean that somebody will come in and tell me when, where, what I want to do. If I told things that's what he wants, then he can move, or he can move to Somalia. He can move to some neighboring countries who just had the elections, where they are dictators, like Museveni and the woman on T-set. They can move there. He can move there. That's where he can move, but not in our country. They suspend campaigns. What does he mean suspending campaigns? That's the problem with him. He's one man. Yeah, he's one man. He should not be in power right now. But because of he has these are the people with influence. They use money maybe to keep themselves in power. And that's why I'm telling you, Atuol is one person who has killed the Kenyan economy through those organizations. He calls himself, he has traveled all these parts of the world, but I may travel, but at the end of the day, it just like he behaves like somebody who just came from Shimogani. But somebody should tell him, we have a new constitution, which has been there for a long time, same constitution, which has given him freedom to run his big mouth every Sunday. Almost every day, he runs his big mouth, supporting whoever he wants to support. But somebody has to tell him, it's time for him to go too. Uwa nyoka, uwa na mayai. Si vile wanasema kila, I'm not, that's from Kachawa. Yeah, Atuol is a problem. Who listens to Atuol anyway? Atuol is just like Mdomo too. Yeah, hakuna kitu Atuol atuambie. I mean, first of all, if that's the case, what powers, through which powers is going to ban this at the campaign? When's a campaign? Is he not campaigning himself? Is he not just running up and the country campaigning and saying, oh, one term or a second term attacking people? How comes he never said that the Ruto should also stop campaigning? We don't care what that I was about to say another time. Let me just leave it like that, what he says. Nobody cares about him. He's becoming irrelevant anyway. He's a conman. He's part of the people who have messed up our country. It's time for him to go too. We want people who have sounding minds, people who can come in and just start how we can jumpstart this economy. The problem of our country at the end of the day is the economy. People cannot afford even daily food. People cannot afford even to take their kids to school. People cannot afford even themselves in medication and medication. And yet we are being told, oh, what does Ruto stand? Angalia, amefanya nini? Like somebody was saying, the president has, when somebody comes on TV or anywhere and tells us that Ruto has done some progress, I'm just like, show me what Ruto has done. But I'll show you what he has destroyed. I'll show you. Or I'll tell you what he has destroyed.
In another, I think yesterday you also saw how those leaders were being tear gassed, the one who were against grabbing the 48-acre land. Today I've seen Farouk Kibet. I think I played the video when you were not here. Farouk Kibet was in Tarbo constituency there in Uasin Gishu. And he was telling the Kalenjin elders that, I'm telling you, our leaders, don't emulate the kind of leadership like the one that those leaders were showing yesterday. Those people went to protest or something because they are being influenced by tribalism, by a certain group of people. Do you think the Wazes who were being tear gassed yesterday are influenced by people? People who their land wants to be grabbed, 48 acres. Can they be people who are being influenced by someone?
Is it 48 or 58? Oh, you might be right. I'm not sure. I think that. So I think as that man, what's his name again? Kibet. Is it Kibet?
Kibet, yeah.
Yes, that's Kibet. That man, by the way, that man is, I don't mean to call him he never went to any police school, from what I'm hearing. I don't know how far he went to. He also speaks like somebody who's just like, he doesn't have what I call a big picture. Somebody who lacks information. So what he brought up, what he said was that was ridiculous on his part of it. That was ridiculous, pathetic. I mean, I think these guys from the left valley, from the so-called Ruto, that framework, people who support him, they have realized that they are going to lose this election. So they think that by them to come and just say whatever they want to say, that because of the people who are rejecting Ruto is because of tribalism. So what I was saying, this land was given them from Kenyatta time. So I don't know, Kibet, I mean, why? And that's the question I keep on asking. If you want to build Mambaya housing to the people, but the same people, excuse me, they are saying, no, we don't want that. So why are you imposing yourself on them? So why sasa yeye anaambia his community are more civilized than the Kikuyu community. That's what he was trying to tell us. That's the same man who has been, remember how he went to Western, where you remember your city, the city they won in Western Kenya, and I think I don't know whether they won or they leaked it. Kibet has been one of the people who has been controversial in terms of he's somebody who's just like me. I don't even understand him. I don't even know why this is advisor to this conman. Maybe because he's his own tribesman. But for him to say that, hey, don't be like those ones there, that's the more we keep on saying. They realize the mountain is gone. The mountain is gone. If they were very clever, if they knew that they want at least some people to sympathize with them, even to vote for them, then why go there and tear gas people just because they went there to pray? They went there to do whatever they want. Let them do what they want to do. They have freedom to do what they want to do. Then let them go. But if the police comes, they intervene, and the way they intervened, you can see those people, I mean, I was saying at Kiomba Maji, they were just washing their faces. Now here, vitu wali Karabash, here the one they broke, cursing. I mean, I don't believe on such a things, but I don't believe it. But at the same time, that tells you how mad they were. That tells you that this one has reached at a boiling point where they feel like he's a cardinal finya. So this land has been there for all these years. Was it waiting for Ruto and his company and his cronies to come and tell the people, oh, we want to build some housing? Let them alone. Yeah, because a lot of people came there. You remember when this happens, people came, walianza kuimba na kila kitu. That tells you the unity against the issue. If there's unity and the people have said no, why are you imposing things on them? And that's where we go wrong. Anataka chenge dia kuja kusema unajua ile nyumba nilichenga, angalia, you want it. Sasa they think they are running out of time. Angalia nimeweka nyumba hapo. Hizo nyumba kuna, and that's a wrong economy. Sile nyumba baadaye, I'm telling you, it's going to be somebody's houses. It's going to be like baadaye. First of all, I don't know. That's not the way to solve housing crisis in Kenya. What it's doing is wrong. First of all, you want to solve a problem where they never called you, we have a problem. Hakuna mtu alikuwa homeless. There's nobody was homeless. But if I was the one doing this, I could have advised him, create an environment where somebody akipata kazi, aenda anunue mchanga, anunue cement, anunue ile. Na ukinunua cement, na ule wa cement is progressing. Ukinunua misumari, just like the economy goes. Lakini kuja hapa unasema unataka build houses, then from there, when you are the president is the one who owns a cement company. He owns the concrete company. He owns still what. Then we are going to buy to him. He person had kwake. I've never seen over and selfish president Kasongo. He's so selfish. He thinks that everything should go for him. Kila kitu yote kitendeke iende kwake. Kila kitu ni kwake. So, and that's why even his insurance were mess up, and they keep on saying it's going to collapse. I mean, there's some things this guy has destroyed. And now what has left is to start hating people, going against even the elders of the Kikuyu community. The same people you were pressing Kibet, they were looking for to endorse them, pressing them, walikuwa wanasema. Remember the time when walikuwa hiyo mambo ya, when we had these people that were supposed to go to international court, they were bringing out what, history, we have internet. Historical, Ruto is the beneficiary of these people from Mount Kenya. And because of him, they even made him a president. Sasa nakuja, it's just like Kibet now can tell us, wow, they are more civilized. There are people that are more civilized than the Kikuyu. Msifanye kama wale walifanya wase wetu. Wale wase. What wase? You know, they are more civilized. The so-called, but that one is another day, another topic for the day. But at the end of the day, I mean, if I was them, I would do the same thing. I'll do what? That's true anger. It's just like Iran. They say that land is special for them. They couldn't look for land somewhere else to build the houses. Iran was given from them all this. Kenyatta amekuja akuifanyia kitu, aliwapatia. Moi amekuwa hapo, nothing. Kibaki amekuja kuiweka. Uhuru amekuja. Sasa Ruto ni nani? Anakuja. I hope those people, they will just go there and expel them. If it means they use legal force against those people, let them use illegal force. And I blamed the member of parliament. I saw her saying, oh, they cast, but she believes in the blood of Jesus because even the cast will never work. But you know what? If you are talking of part one term or the people are going out, she's gone. Wamton is gone. The member of all these MPs who are against Kachawa from central Kenya, they are gone. And I think now they are trying to take advantage. What they go and lie to Ruto. We want money for this. We want money for this. Hiyo pesa wanaweka huko because they are trying to protect themselves the future. But hiyo pesa wanaweka kwa benki. Unajua hii Kasongo is just giving them money. Kila mtu anamtanganya tu. Oh, we want this one, this and that. The money on hand, they just pocket the money. And that's what they are doing. Some of these people have even money in the house. In fact, if they were genuine, and if they are genuine, they can afford this money where it's going. Most of this money Kasongo is giving is not getting to the people. How much money they used in when they went to Nyandarua? A lot of money to mobilize all these people. Hiyo pesa wanatoa tu kidogo, ingine wanaweka hapo. I know he's going to Kisii, I think tomorrow. He's running Kisii, Kesho, Sunday, or today. You know what's going to happen? They have used up money there, but some of the money they will just pocket. Like Soro and the group of other people, they want to pocket that money because they know their time is also running out. So can you imagine if you want money, go to Kasongo? That's why you see what wanakimbia huko. Everybody wants to grab free money. Here, that's what they call it bottom up. Here, the bottom up.
There was something that you talked hapo kidogo, and it's a question that I had asked because we've seen most of the rallies. Rigathi is saying anataka kufagia wote, all the wasalitis in Mount Kenya. And I was just trying to ask the people in the forum if they think that Waiguru atafagiliwa pia, because I've seen a speech of Waiguru talking about, mimi niko kwa safari ya kwenda Singapore na mimi nataka kusema niko ndani ya serikali. Na akasema ati Biblia inasema, I think it was in a church or in a funeral. Biblia inasema mtu asikue lukewarm. Kama wewe ni moto kuwa moto, kama wewe ni baridi kuwa baridi. So I think does she think because she's with the Ruto she will escape the kufagili?
No, I just want to remind you, she cannot run for a second term. That's her last term. That's it for her.
But she wanted to, okay, watafagia wote, but I had some that he wants to be running mate for Ruto, like the deputy from the mountain, because maybe she thinks she'll be useful.
I mean,
mountain votes.
she can say what she wants to say. So yes, just look at it this way. Where you are a president, within 5 years you are going to have that vice president. Do you think people are going to believe in you? Because I'm telling you, there's no way it's going to happen. I mean, I was thinking about this until like towards the end of last week. I was thinking this way. I thought maybe Kasongo was going to go with Joe ODM, he was using ODM as one way of trying to get a VP, somebody new. Maybe a bad job for the guy from Mombasa, Muslim fought. But one thing I can tell you for free, there's no way it's going to get Kindik out and gets Waiguru in. What's the difference between a prostitute and him? What he's doing? A prostitute. Kama vile baba alikuwa anatuambia wabunge maraya. Yeah. So to use that word in another time because anybody can, So the thing is, people will not believe in him. If he gets Kindik out, then he gets Waiguru. What would I say? Uyu, or he wants to win. He's just like he does know. So that one's going to backfire. And I think he has settled. He's going to Kindik. He will go down with him. There's nothing he can do about it at this point. If he changes to another vice president or running mate, that one is going to bite him. He's going down. Either way, he can do what he wants to do. To me, I just feel even if he does what he wants to do right now, he has run out of time. His time has run out. And at this point, he cannot, even if that's, if first of all, I was your judgment as a president when you had a first president, then later on you changed. Then now you failed. Now another watatu. Apana, our wili when you datoa, unless Kindik hear what might happen, and that's what I keep on telling people. He might be given a lot of money to resign. And now, because of that, that opening comes in. And now Ruto grab that choice, just to cover. But if he gets Kindik out and Amwambia Pan last month went this way, whatever you did, that becomes a problem on him. So, the fact remains, a few weeks from now, you will see people running away from Kasongo, more especially from those zones where they know they cannot win with him. The people, I think, in Mombasa, I think UDA is going to take over Mombasa or a whole of it because about ODM is so stupid. They have had that opening. UDA is going to take Mombasa in terms of maybe member of parliament, and they will divide with, if the United Opposition unite with Sifuna, they might be able to get some seats in Mombasa. Luo Nyanza is going to be up for grabs. I'm telling you, Luo Nyanza is going to be either candidate independent. Most of the independent candidates I want to win in Luo Nyanza come that time. So people like Waiguru who are coming in central Kenya or Mount Kenya to say them they are in or whatever, well, what they will be, what a fahiwa. And that's a true mahali imefikia right now. It's 360 degrees. Now, Gachagua won the next stage. Gachagua can be a good VP for somebody, but he cannot be he can run the national like president. That one, he cannot win. I can tell that one for free. Because he has not the king of the national. Because at this point, most of his campaigns are within Mount Kenya. And that's why he is so powerful. He's want to sweep the Mount Kenya with his party and some parts of Left Valley, where we have the population of the Kikuyu, maybe Nakuru and other places. He might win some other places in Western, depending what ticket comes up. But people like Waiguru, they are nowhere. They are going nowhere. Ichungo and everybody. You can see the governor of I think Muranga. What's this guy? He was a senator. Some of those governors. That's why now they go to Ligadia, because they can see that's the only way they can win. Even the Nyandaro governor, the way he was speaking to the funeral, you can tell he didn't even know what to do. But Ligadia tuambia ati yeye wako na yeye. So some of these governors, they know that's the only way to win. If you are not with Gachagua in Mount Kenya, you are gone. I don't know about some part of Mount Kenya, like the eastern part of it, where we have the Meru and the Embu. That was very difficult to say, but I think they will have very, very difficult time at this point. Yeah, so that's my take on that.
In predicting maybe what will happen tomorrow, do you think President Ruto will speak on what happened on Kikuyu today? Because I know Ishungwa, definitely Ishungwa will speak about it. And he will speak about it in a bad way and try to turn it to show, to see that it's like the opposition are the one who arranged all these thing of goons and whatever.
They can say what they want to say. They can come up and frame their own story. At the end of the day, what matters is what's on the ground, what one inch are saying. If the majority of the people, they are saying they have been harassed, they have been denied to do their right of expression. If that's the case, if it was Kachau and Ukambani who came there, are you going to have the police come and interfere? The ordinary people don't have tear gas. The police were there. The police caused this one here. I'm telling you, because of the influence of some of the most people, the so-called, some of these Karenjin who are in these police stations, some of them, and I think that's why this one happened. I think Ichungwa thought that if the police can go and help him and other things, he will get sympathy. Maybe he will come like he's the one, he's also running, he's trying to show his power. But at the end of the day, how do you win without winning the people? It's the people's power versus a conman and another conman who can say what they want to say. At the end of the day, the people will have a say. And I'm very sure if you go on those people you see on the streets, all of them, they'll be against Ruto and they'll be against Ichungwa. So they are losers as we speak them here. At the end of the day, it's the power, the people's power. And I'm very, very, I mean, those people, that was a lot of people, by the way. That was a lot of people. You can see them. And you go and just throw tear gas on no matter what. That's why Ichungwa was telling you, if you don't see, another thing they might bring up. That's the way I just feel. Oh, some of those people were not from Kikuyu. They brought people from other places. They came from Nyandarua. Maybe they brought them from Nairobi. They brought them. That's something it was Adanda kusema hivyo. But if you look at that crowd, some of them, what will go and talk about Roko, when I talk about local, because there are some other things, if you follow, before everything happened, there are some people who are just like, you see people coming from other villages, some of the around that area. I'm familiar with the area. I went to school around that in Alliance. So I know that place of Kikuyu very, very well. So that population never came from Nairobi. That's Kikuyu itself. People come from Uthiru. People can come from Mahe. People can come from other, whatever, from the other side. I can't remember the name. So it's a natural crowd. So kama yeye anakuja anatuambia ati hawa wamekuwa from other way, tuonyeshe pass ambayo walikuja nayo. Let them give us the passes ambao the walikuja nayo. Yeah? Or give us the transport they get, the means of transport they used to, hata wakakuja hapa ni wakakuja hapa. But unajua Kenya watu wanakuja wanasema uongo. You see your sort. You see? Si walisema alikuwa it was he had a woman who was alikuwa somewhat woman. That's why imagine you see goons wanakuja wa 12 and wamekuja kumpigia kwa sababu akona mke wa mtu ama msichana wa mtu ama nini. That's what they were trying to tell us. People like this member of Homa Bay, that gunman from Homa Bay, that's the worst person I've ever seen, a member of parliament, to come and start just spreading some rumors. Yeah, that was miserable. So Kenya, we have this tendency of even a president to come and say about the opposition. They are the people who caused all this. But what is forgetting is, why was all those policemen throwing tear gas on people? Where was this? I mean, to tell the truth, at this point, if it was a working parliament where we have a parliament which is genuine, I think Ruto could be gone by now. Ruto could have been impeached and get out of our country as a president. But because we have what were Matumbo na vitu ngine, so we are where we are right now. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. They will come and lie to the people. Ijunga will come and show up some other people na haya aonekana pengine kesho, aonekana you buy some people wakuja ndio wamsangilie, then from there he won't make statements. Pengine ataenda huko ama angoje vile unasema bunge where he has his comfort inside the parliament. You know what? We want to listen to them right now. The people's power is what's going to win.
Okay, and also I think before you came in, I also talked about IBC. They have told us that they'll ensure that the electoral process is transparent. So far, there has been a new registration of the mass registration that they have been doing. They have now registered 875,501. Among the leading counties is Nairobi at number 1, Kiambu at number 2, and Kakamega at number 3. Nairobi is leading with 96,897, followed by Kiambu with 46,265. Then Kakamega with 40,110. So we've seen people have come to register in large numbers. So are you sure what they are telling us about them making the elections transparent, they mean it, or they just trying to make us gain some confidence in what they are saying, or have some confidence in them? But if it's registering, I've seen a lot of people have come out to register. It is just now to sensitize them to come out so that they vote. Wasikuwe tu wameregister hivyo, but wasikuwe ikikuja kwa voters turnout day ya ballot wasipatikane.
I think in fact, thank you for that question. At this point, I think the more people are coming up, assuming the same people will come up in the general election, that's bad news for Kasongo, because people are coming up to show you. I mean, the 800 you talked about is minus the people just today, because I have a feeling that I saw in Western Kenya, somewhere in Bungoma, they had all that crowd just going to register, a lot of people. Maybe
in
the
Kitale.
number, yes, Kitale, yes. I think maybe we are talking about maybe by Monday, we'll be talking about 1 million. Maybe by the next 1 point something, maybe by the end of next week. So here's the thing. IBC, I mean, they are new people, we don't know, but I've always said, in fact, this time they have the easiest job. They have the easiest job because this time, just go there, do the right thing, because we know who are the Kenyans are against. This is not want to be close. It's not want to be a close presidential election, assuming that the United Opposition will have one candidate. So it will be a candidate of United Opposition against Ruto. I'm telling you, they have the easiest job. All they do is just like, because the election will be won even before what went to Pigakura. Itakuwa 2022. 202 again, 2002, when Uhuru Kenyatta just like considered the election even before it started. So if they want to make their life easy, somebody has to tell them they should not interfere with the will of the people. They should not interfere with the will of the people if they want peace. But if they want trouble and they want to start maneuvering or trying to cook some figures, trying to help somebody, this time it's not going to happen. And this time, I know for real, the people on the ground and those ones who just like yelling from both sides, sometimes on the ground. This time, people are saying very well, and they are not going to court. This election, there's no need to go to court because they know what will be the outcome. At this point, if we know this election, because this is going to be a changing election, like we normally Kenya goes a circle. This is going to be a changing election from one generation to another one. And Ruto should accept that this is a changing election. He's going to lose. Let the new government come in if you want peace in the country. Don't also forget that we have outside people, states from other countries who knows what's going on in the country, who are monitoring in Kenya because of their citizens there, because of what their investments and other things. Don't mind that. Don't also forget that some of this conmanship, like Ruto has a lot of business. If anything goes wrong, he's going to lose. That's what I've said here before. And let me say it again. One thing or two is going to happen. Because of the election, it's going to be one-sided, and the IBC will have no issue. So Ruto might decide one thing. Either he comes out and says he's not going to run, or he comes out and says he's going to sponsor somebody who's going to protect his interests so that he can influence the election. That won't be another, it will be another change. So the election will change right there. So that one, he might be able to break the opposition because he will just say, there's somebody, you know what, Tintignoro, just come here. I want to give it to you guys. You gave me this, I want to give it to you now. Now the election will change, but you have to protect my interest. So that one will be a factor. Will he win? I don't know. Will he do that? We don't know. So at this point, I'm telling you, nothing is going to change until 2027 in terms of Ruto, what else he can do just to make people like him. The worst might come about him. I'm predicting. I'm telling some guys tells me because of the country is insecure right now. We have a lot of sleeping security. We are forgetting that we have neighbors who can come and arm us. We have people who can come and arm us in terms of terrorism, which has happened before. That's even more worse. I have a feeling that because of what's been happening, and because I saw a report from that, there was some DCI, they were able to get some Somalia things, some things you are going to Somalia with the terrorist organization up there. Yeah. I just feel like something might happen in our country because we are so exposed. We are so vulnerable right now. We are so like we don't know what we are doing. I have a feeling that somebody somewhere might start to harm our people, maybe in a mall somewhere. And that one, of course, as Kenyans, that one is going to be more worse for him. But at this point, let's hope such a thing is not going to happen in our country. But since these people are what we are secure, the way now we are insecure, there's no security in the country. I think people might take advantage. Some terrorists might just, I hope such a thing might not happen. We don't want to go that way. The reason why I'm saying that is this. One of the things which people keep on saying is security of our country. And that's why I have a feeling our country is not secure right now. If you have a president who's giving some people who are wanted in the international court and our Battalion Kenyan passports, and yet at this time the DCI EAC has not even said anything about it. Yeah, his tribesmen, the Interior Secretary, he hasn't said nothing about it. Where is that story? Where these people from Southern Sudan were given passports, Kenyan passports? Where are they? Yeah. So if you tell me that, look what they did in northern part of the country. They opened their open borders. Yeah. People are coming and getting some ID. I'm telling you, we are digging our own grave for our people. Some of these people, they want to take advantage of our open borders and everything. They come and do damages in our country. And that's why I'm telling you right now, watu ndio Ruto atakuja hapa ndio atataka kutuonyesha ya kwamba unaona. Remember, I want to ask you guys, remember what happened when the Gen Z, when they did what they did, which was the right thing, when they were protesting. We know when he came there and said, the way he addressed it, as if he was in war with his own people. It's as if Kenya was attacked by terrorists. They are saying, oh, people, we protect the constitution, our criminals, whatever. Yeah? That's Ruto. Can you imagine if Raila never came to say, hey, the country could be gone? And I guess it could have gone in a better way. I think if the Gen Z could have taken over that country, we could have gone in a better way. I would rather have somebody else run a country than Ruto. That's my opinion. Because Ruto is somebody who came there to benefit himself, is somebody who came there with a bad intention of messing up the country. Since he came in, he has destroyed the economy of our country. They keep on saying, oh, when I came in, Unga was this one. You are talking about Unga. We are talking about Unga. Give me how many jobs you have created as a president. Give me the economy of our country. That's how some of us, we mess up progress. The economy, jobs. Lakini ukuja hapo unaambia watu waende kufanya mambo ya mchengo. What's he talking about? What about people of universities, colleges, institutions? Wanaenda wapi sasa? Thank you. I can see somebody else here. Just give them a chance to speak too. Thank you very much.
Hi, it's called Viva Iran. Welcome to our today's session. Ni yule mwenye jana nilikuwa na try kumunmute hakuwa na unmute. But I can also see in the comment section, there are some people who are saying some things. I see Innocent is saying my guru has finished her 2-term governorship. No, Innocent, I was talking about her eyeing the deputy presidential seat, and Roba has clarified that one. Iran, hi. Is it Iran or Ivan? Viva.
Valerie,
Viva, are you able to hear me?
Valerie, unanisikia vizuri?
Nakusikia.
Na Roba pia? Sawa. Hiyo tu nimejiita Viva Iran in solidarity. Otherwise unanijua tu mimi ni Eli. Sasa
We'll change. Okay.
It's just me.
Uko kwa noise, Eli.
See,
There is some noise in your
please
background.
forgive me. The background. Yeah, just don't mind the background noise. I'm in a restaurant, you know, and that's where there is a noise in the background. But that's why I'm trying to speak as loud as I can. And if the noise is too much, then you can tell me and I will stop speaking. I'll just participate in the chat. But the question about governance and elections in Africa as a whole, when we look at it, we have to think about things like this. How did someone like Paul Biya, the president of Cameroon, stay in power for over 40 years? You know, he's still the longest serving ruler on this planet. How did Yoweri Museveni stay in power since 1986, with or without rigging? So to me, the answer to that question is simple. That elections generally in Africa are not won, they're stolen, generally. And another segment to that thought is that outside influence, you know, the foreign influence, you know, is the one that determines whether Yoweri Museveni is going to have another 5-7 years, whether William Ruto will still be in power. Because in the case of Kenya, if you look at some of those things that are happening in the region, for example, how close Ruto is to UAE, those Gulf nations, and the damage they have done in Sudan, especially the war there and the gold industry there. But actually, I'm glad that because of that war in Iran, those former powers of the Gulf states, they are no more. Now they are crying like babies. In fact, hata wameanza hata kunini kuogopa Iran sana mpaka wamefunga hizo airports za kutumiwa na Amerika. Hawa ndio watu ambao ni wafuasi wa Ruto na Ruto ni mfuasi wao. Unaona? So wacha nikwambie ukweli, hii shida ambayo tuko nayo hii continent yetu ya Afrika, sometimes huwa ninajiambia tu kwa upole, is elections necessary in Africa? Let's talk about Kenya. Is it necessary? Something that yani kitu tutafanya for sure, tutapigana. Is that then necessary? Is it necessary that we have this thing where we know someone is going to steal it? And you know what really annoys me the most, and I hate to say this because we're trying to be a sober channel. We know that we don't want to be intolerant, but what annoys me the most is nowadays when I hear people who shout about one term. These are the people who elected this man. You know, like that makes that. Even actually, I don't know how I can forgive them. I'm sorry, but it is something so painful that instead of these people coming out in big numbers in those political rallies and saying, look, we, the people of Central, and we, the people of Rift Valley, and any other associate constituencies, this is what we did as a people. Please, let us move on together as a nation and reject this guy. But right now, what is happening is that these leaders, you know, I was watching this Omanga, Millicent Omanga, and she's just symptomatic of many of Kenyan leaders right now. She is now crossing over to Gachagwa's side. If you look at the things she's posting, this is a person who was dying for Ruto. So these people, instead of coming to these political rallies and saying, let us think as a whole group, this is what we did. These people, they want to survive in their jobs. And by the way, when I say these people, even in Nyanza, including Lower Nyanza, there were some people who did the same thing that was done by the people of Central and Rift Valley. Remember Kina Dalmas, Otieno, at some point, they caused some hoo-ha in Luo Nyanza, saying that Raila was a gone case. And also some people in Luo Nyanza were saying, why is Raila Odinga uniting with a Kikuyu called Martha Karua? You know, you can't, if you are Raila Odinga, you have to be, you have to please every side. It was a difficult political life for that man. Akifanya hii, wanampigia makelele. Akienda huku, wanampigia makelele. Akikuwa neutral, it was just a disaster. So now, if we are thinking about the elections, the so-called elections of next year, me, I have given myself to think about, like, are we saying that we are going to route for someone who has never killed? Yani huyo hajawahi kuwa muuaji. Sababu ukiona hiyo list, including associate killers, si ati wale wameua kabla, lakini wamekuwa na wauaji. The whole lineup wako hapo, except I would say young people like Sifuna. The numbers you can see, and you can tell which ones have not been involved in bloodthirsty projects of assassinations and things like that. Lakini hao wote wengine, hata Matiang'i, the one who I was saying the other day, is the best choice because is very pragmatic. So if we come to these forums and we say that Ruto is a killer, na yeye ndiye anatuma watu waue, mimi najiuliza, who else is not a killer in this political landscape?
Before you proceed, we can't that one let it go. So I'm the one who said it there. So are you saying you don't want us to say?
No, I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. No. Robert, this is where you go wrong. You need to learn the art of debate.
No, what I'm asking, that came from my mouth.
They're attacking you. I'm not attacking you.
No, what I'm asking. No, you're also asking. I'm asking you a question because I can't let that one go. So, are you telling us, Kalonzo Musyoka, Matiang'i, the other people, the rest of the crew, they have been on the commander in chief, where they have the authority to go and see what happens, like a couple of years ago? Can you give an example where Kalonzo was in power and people got killed?
I'll give you an example. You're asking me to give you an example. Yes. When Kenya was on fire in 2007, Kalonzo Musyoka aliingia katikati. I don't have to go any further than that. When there was serious bloodshed, yeah? And then Matiang'i, I don't even have to mention because there's been calls for him to resign at the time when he was in government. He was as internal security minister. He even said that if there was ever an inquiry about the Ribayala bodies that appeared there, he would be ready to
my question is on that one to educate our audience. Was he involved direct, or was he involved direct that you can say for little you have evidence or you are convinced they are involved direct of the killings?
Okay, so what you're saying is that there is no absolute killer in this political landscape. There is a relative killers. That's what I'm saying. A person can be a minister and can be responsible, or can be, an implied supporter of what has happened. I'm not running away from your question. The fact is, Matiang'i was not the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, which includes the police. Okay, but Matiang'i had such a powerful position. Kalonzo Musyoka was the vice president at the time.
Let's be sincere on Kalonzo. I'm not a fan of Kalonzo. I think Kalonzo, that's very weak. Kalonzo came in after all these things came in. That's when he came from the government. So it had nothing to do with what went on. Let's be genuine and just say that. Yes, Matiang'i was powerful minister. Maybe somebody that one I can give you that. But Kalonzo, no.
Bro, Kalonzo was brought in order to silence the violence. That is why Kalonzo was brought in as vice president. You remember Mudi Awori? He had lost the elections in Bunyula. He was the former vice president before Kalonzo came in, right? PNU, they've all been flawed. In fact, PNU had maybe around 20 MPs only who came back to parliament in 2007. So there was all records showing that Kibaki lost the elections. Some people would say that Kibaki did not lose the elections because, for the sake of argument, they would say that.
No, whoever says Kibaki won the election, that's madness. Kibaki lost the election. He lost it with a landslide.
Roba, I think. Oh, I just have to tell you, I'm remaining with the 4 minutes to end the show. Then Njiru will come and open another one.
Okay, I'll give my final submission here.
Oh yeah, well,
I'll give my final submission here.
I'll give you. I'm done.
Okay, let's Ellie wrap it up and then we call it a day.
Yes, it's always like this. When someone has a substantive motion or thing to submit, huwa mnaogopa, mnakimbia, hamtakangi ukweli,
Nani
mnapenda hizi vitu za madrama. Ati sijui who was chased today in Kikuyu, sijui I don't know what happened, sijui what the rally went like this, like that. Those things don't matter. Those things don't matter to the everyday life of a Kenyan person. The things that matter is you look at if we are going to think of someone to elect, what have we done in the past and what are the things that are stopping the truth come out, including issues about a rigged election. A rigged election is, how do you look at IEBC? People are here talking about how they will win elections. And you know the IEBC, how it looks like right now. And you think that saa zingine tuko na tabia mbaya sana. We know what the problem is. Lakini tuko shy kabisa to deal with those problems. Right now, members of the so-called opposition and the people in government who also align with them, right now, they could have been dealing with IEBC in court. Yes, it's a constitutional body, but if they went to court, a lot they can do can change what the IEBC can or cannot do next year. Lakini si tunakaa hapa ati sijui Gachagua had bulletproof vests, sijui what, who is that? This is the same Gachagua who was supporting Ruto in the last 4 years. So I want to say that we need to open up our minds to think a little bit better about these things, because they're not as simple as we're presenting at the moment. They're really presenting a very, very shallow thesis of what is happening in that compound called Kenya. And I hope and I wish for the best for those who are trying to remove Ruto, if they can only unite and get this single bullet of a person that can change the current situation the way we see it. But by the way, Valerie, before I go, I was speaking to someone who is in government who told me that the most likely thing that will happen is that Ruto will win because of the housing projects. I don't know what you think about that, but apparently people in some places are saying that is how they are going to vote for him. Me, I don't know whether this can mean anything or this is just a fallacy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Eli, for your contribution. Vile umesema, we will, yeah, I'll try as much as I can to bring the most matters zenye tunaweza analyze in a way that they can take us somewhere. Thank you for your contribution today, and thank you also, Roba, and those ones in the comment section like Goodia, Pitambudia, Jenit, and Innocent, and the rest. Have a lovely night, and let's see each other tomorrow.